Hello and welcome to another video from oorail. In this video we're going to replace some traction tires, and we're going to do it with a slightly different product. So we have this City of London. It's a very nice wartime black LMS locomotive from Hornby, and I got this second hand, and basically it normally has two traction tires, one here and one here. And when I ran the loco on the test track when it first came in, it was basically running very unevenly, and I discovered that the traction tires had basically become rock hard like plastic, and bits of them had chipped off. So basically when you ran it over the track, it was just kind of rotating around and bouncing. It was kind of lumpy kind of tire sort of deal, and they weren't really working very well because they had lost their kind of rubbery compound texture and had just become a kind of a smooth plastic texture. So rather than replacing them with new traction tires, which A, I only have about 3 or 4 of, and B, can be quite expensive to ship over from the UK, I found this product online called bullfrog snot, and I'm not kidding, it is called bullfrog snot. Now, it's not actually made from any kind of organic material. It's a sort of funny rubbery material, and this particular can or container of it cost about $24. I think it was $24.95. So I saw a video of this from the guys that make it, and it looked pretty neat, and I thought I'd give it a go and see if it works. And I've been wanting to try this for a while, but I sort of hadn't because I didn't really have the need. Most of the locos that have traction tires are actually working pretty well. But this loco came in, and then I had Britannia that I had along with 2 or 3 other locos, and they all had the same broken traction tire problem. So I figured it'd be a good time to try this out. So in order to try this out, it's very, very simple actually. You need the bullfrog snot, which is the rubbery compound. You're going to need a toothpick or a cocktail stick, and you're going to need some crocodile clips. Now these crocodile clips I got at Walmart. They're in the automotive section. I think they cost me $1.95. I believe they're 30-inch test leads. And it's a very simple setup. I've got the black one attached to one side of the track, and it's going to the connection pin on the tender here. Now this is a tender driven loco, so I'm able to do it pretty easily with this. And then the other side is just attached to the chassis. So the best connection I was able to get was actually off the buffers. So it's connected to buffers to the other side of the track. And basically when I run it in reverse, you can see there, it's or at least you can hear it. It's moving pretty well. It's going this way basically. It's the rotation of the wheels is that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to dip this in here, and we're going to take this and apply it to the traction tire without the traction tire on there anymore, and hopefully that'll adhere. So the idea is that you apply it and you let it run until it disappears, as the color disappears, and then it may take 2 or 3 applications because the traction tire wheel is actually recessed. So I'm going to zoom the camera in so you guys can see this as I do it, and hopefully it doesn't epically fail. So give me a few seconds to line up the camera so you guys can see this properly, and then we're going to give it a try. Okay, so we're going to give this a go. I've never actually done this, and this is the first time I am doing it. You can see here there's quite a bit of evenness on the lid, and you get a pretty full container of it. So I'm going to start off by running this at a normal sort of running speed. Now the motor's a little, don't want to run it too fast. We don't want to run it too slow either. So we're going with a sort of a medium running speed, the sort of speed you'd use to run in the loco. And next step, what we're doing is just basically getting a dab of it like so. Oops. And of course I messed that up a little bit. and then what we're doing is just basically touching it like so. Now the wheel crevice itself is actually pretty big, so it's going to need a little bit more. Might need a little bit. And it appears to have done it correctly, so you're going to let that run. So looking at the crevice on the wheel, I think it's going to take about 2 coats for this to work. So basically we're just going to let this sit here until it dries, and they said it'd take about 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave the video camera run and we'll speed it up so you can see the process. But right now it's looking pretty good, so we'll just have to wait and see. So we're going to go ahead and apply a second coat now, since it seems to have reasonably dried. So here we go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and let that cure now for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then we'll see what we get. Might need a slightly wider applicator. The toothpick here is a little small, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's been a couple hours, and you can see here it's gone ahead and kind of turned into this kind of dark green color. Ultimately, I let it run for about 2 hours, and then it turned a little darker, but it was still the original sort of thicker, sort of brighter green color, but it seemed to be pretty solid, so I turned it off and just let it sit there, and after about another 2 hours it sort of darkened to this color. I think it's because I applied too much to it all at once, applied 2 coats at once. So we're going to let it continue to dry, but it does seem to be working pretty well, so hopefully it'll work alright. Alright, so we're going to leave it for another couple hours, and I'm actually going to try applying it to a second one while we wait, and hopefully it'll okay, so we're back out here at the layout, and we've got the City of London here all hooked up and ready for a quick bit of testing. What I wanted to do was show you guys the end result, basically. And so what I did was I actually went ahead and did the same procedure to a second tender, and you can sort of see what it does. It leaves this kind of like dark green residue, which is basically your traction tire on the wheel. Now it's a little bit thinner and a little smoother in terms of how it seamlessly integrates there into the actual wheel. Now it took about 24 hours for it to dry like that. But all in all, I'm quite pleased with it. In fact, what I'll do, since you did see this as well, I'll just flip this over. You can see these ones were a little deeper, and so I used a little bit extra. But you can see there it's basically dried out into a kind of a green hue. You can't see the green when it's on the track, so if I turn it around and put it like that, you can't really tell that it's there. But it does look pretty good, and you can see the kind of mess I thought it was going to end up with actually turned out very, very well. So it did take a couple hours, and I probably didn't need to let it run as long as I did. It just didn't turn color as quickly as the instructions sort of said it would. So, and I don't know if that's because of the temperature in here, or if it was just something to do with the amount of it that I had put on, because I did put 2 coats on in quick succession. But anyway, what we're going to do next is just show it to you going around the layout. I'm being a bit lazy today, and I haven't actually switched the camera to the larger tripod, so what I'm going to do is just show it to you leaving here, and then I'm going to angle the camera the other way, and I'll probably get the GoPro and take some more shots. But anyway, let's see if it actually works. Now keep in mind, this Loco didn't run at all without the traction tires, and now it's running without traction tires with the bullfrog snot, and it's working very well. So I'm going to swing the camera around so you can see it from the other angle as well as it makes an approach. And I apologize for the mess here. I do have some more wood that I bought, so we should be able to get a lot more storage out of it as well. But you can see there it's working really well, and I'm quite pleased with it. And I use very little of the actual product itself, so if you think about it, 2 traction tires would have cost me at least £1, and so the bullfrog snot's about $25, so probably about 13, 14, maybe £15 at most. and to be honest, I think it's actually produces a smoother result than the traction tires. Now, just like the traction tires, this stuff will wear out. I have absolutely no idea how long it'll take for it to wear out, but we will put it to a test and let you guys know. But right now it's running very smoothly, and it's not giving me any problems at all, and it's running at a fairly decent speed. So what we're going to do next is probably break out the GoPro and get some more shots of the thing going around the layout, but so far so good. It's looking pretty good. It even has pretty good close control, so if I slow it down here, you can see it's not wobbling or jostling or anything like that. It's very smooth motion that it's going through. Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll leave you with some more shots of the City of London going around the layout. But bullfrog snot, definitely a much cheaper alternative to traction tires, and I think it may actually be better than traction tires.